when you talk of secular, that day I talked something that the word secularism or secular is more for a state and not for individuals. Okay, how individuals can maintain harmony. Okay, that is okay. But secular means you should not be having a religion, okay, of your own. And you should be, as I say in Indian secularism, maintaining equal distance from all. So Western secularism is coming from the thesis that reformation of church was there. Okay, everything was under pressure. Why the term secular surfaced? So here, if you will focus, you will be able to answer a question of mains also. They may ask you a question and they have already asked. So now again they may modify it. This is how they ask. How Indian secularism is different from the idea of Western secularism. If you say, sir, what was the source of UPSC, why they asked such a question? It is given, beta, because in your NCRTs also. This thought is given in NCRTs also. Anyway, now we will have it for our purpose, so that someone who is appearing for civil services, how that child shall be knowing. Okay, C child in Europe, basically the people were required to pay two types of taxes. One, so it was one third, straight away. So it means 66.66% of whatever your produce was to be given as tax. To whom? One third to the king, shabash. One third to the church, and one third was of yours. Further, church used to have various other ways also of earnings, and they used to, and when beta, anyone who will have more money will be more powerful. So they were able to influence nobility even, because anyone who will have support of a banker will actually be able to challenge anyone. Finally, money makes the mayor go. So the kings, the basic administrators, all were basically, some were thinking a sort of freedom from the church. Anyway, it did not happen, and they continued for centuries like this. But when it happened, child, then with the idea of everything, you must have heard of Dark Ages, then Renaissance, all that, basic thing, Renaissance. And then reformation of church also starts. So with all this, an idea has come that in a state functioning, in the functioning of state, there shall not be any place for religion. So a complete wall between state functions, state authority, and religion, a complete wall, means we do not identify it altogether. Okay. Sometimes, children, you must have heard, in India, the same logic cannot be applied. But if you must have heard that in Sweden it happened that a person was wearing a religious symbol, okay, and they barred. It may be a turban, it may be a burqa, anything which is associated with religious practice. So if it is a fashion, they will not do anything. But if it is associated with religion, they will say that, gentlemen, you are not allowed to come this side. So permeability is zero. It's not semi-permeable. Permeability is zero. Anything from this will not come here. So in context of such countries where this type of secularism is practiced, whether they allow religious symbols or not, it is purely their state choice, and it will not be seen as a religious symbol, but as a specific fashion of yours. Are you getting? That's why these words were used in their houses. Okay? These words were used in their houses when the debate surfaced. That can we bar? They said yes. Why? They said, see, we don't have any identity of it. It is very personal thing. At your home or in your personal capacity, you may do anything. For us, wearing a burqa, wearing a turban is nothing more than a fashion. But in official capacity, SORRY, sorry. Why? This is Western idea of secularism. Now I am taking you to an important debate where the question will come. Hijab in India, burqa in India, turban in India. I think you are seeing where I am reaching. So in India, we ourselves have actually allowed some sort of permeability. Okay, some sort of permeability is there, that state will not have any religion of its own, but it is identifying religion as freedom of people. And they have freedom to not just practice, but to propagate also their views. Subject to, yes, moral order, morality, health, public order, that is different thing. But yes, otherwise you can. These are the restrictions which I can apply. So tantricism and other things, no. Anything that is going against health, public order, or morality, no. We can do it. State can deny such a freedom even in the matters of conscience. So till that time, it is not genuinely preventing the function on which someone is. It appears prima facie. Slowly I will enter later in the court judgment, but prima facie it is appearing to me why anyone should bar. Okay, if my turban is allowed, hijab should also be allowed. Are we getting the point? Why? Because see, if you would have been having a line completely barred, then no one could have said anything. But can we be selective that I allow something to you but not to him? Then actually Article 14 somewhere is actually, yes, getting defeated. So this is the debate which will be asked. Don't go political at all. No. Put your stand, put the stand of both the judges. We will talk when we will be talking Article 25 in detail. But I just talked about this is a short question for your exam. Need not be defensive at all. Do not worry. Yes, if the question is of uniform, then we may prescribe something so that all look alike. I may prescribe, but whether a uniform can also be specified or prescribed in such a manner that somewhere it is against permeability for one and allows permeability to the other. Are you understanding? See, sir, if your specific thing, it can be anything. Let's not talk it hijab, burqa or anything turban. Let's say XYZ. So if X is stopping me from learning a particular function, definitely I can say no, not allowed, right? I can say not allowed because it will obstruct, let's say, your learning or your functioning. Are you understanding? Suppose, see, there's nothing that dark goggles, okay, looks stylish. And I also come with that. Hey, dude, how are you? And we all are with that. So now, suppose we would have been a government school or a functioning anything. So whether that could have been stopped? Yes. Why? In learning, in teaching, eye contact plays a vital role. Eye contact plays a vital role while actually teaching as well as while learning. Because we come to know with the size of your pupil that whether you are comprehending or furthermore explanation is required. That is where we fire a question. As soon as we see some are thinking like this, a question comes, explanation comes. So it has an important learning aspect, correct? And we are not somewhere that extreme heat is there or someone is having infection can be allowed. The same case, if someone is having eye infection or is facing irritation due to light, may be allowed and still may be sitting. So I think you are getting it. If it is preventing that function, I may disallow it. If it is preventing that function, then I may disallow it. But in special conditions, again, I may allow it. So the important question is, which dissenting judge highlighted was that we cannot be selective in permeability. Are you getting my point? We cannot be selective in permeability. And even the idea of essentiality, doctrine of essentiality, which Supreme Court has come out with, that may not be seen because what is essential, what is not, how in a matter of faith someone else can decide. Are you getting my point? How can you decide? Because otherwise entire religion is non-essential. It is a subjective thing. It's purely a matter of belief, personal belief. And how you actually believe in something till that time, it is not against health, public order and morality should be allowed. But in case of uniform, now I talk of other judge. So we need to put up a balanced answer without having any fears. And yes, it is a big question that how come you be selective in permeability? Either you say it is stopping learning, then definitely wrong. If someone says that it prevents learning, like I say goggles, I can say, I can straight away disallow it. That in learning, no chance. It's not possible because learning will not be there. So I may disallow. So these type of presentation we will have in our notes. I think we are getting it. So there are some terms which are almost short for mains. And this is a short question. But you know how they will connect it? Better they will connect it with whether in Indian secularism. Now they will put a question to you. In Western secularism, I can disallow anything, sir. I can disallow even turban. Okay. I can disallow in Western secularism. If we allow, that is a different thing. And they need to justify in the house only as a specific type of fashion. I cannot say no, because if I say personal belief is allowed to him, why not to her? So I cannot be selective. I cannot be selective. We are getting the idea. So this is where we comprehend things. And at UPSC, fearlessly, you need to write what is technically correct. Uniform wise, I understand, correct. But in uniform also, the question will always be there. So you actually write unbiased. You only write the questions. That the question remains, can there be selective permeability even in regard to uniform? Understanding it? So if no, then no, complete no. And if yes, then till the time it is checking something, restricting something, then it has to be yes, yes. Anyway, this we will be coming later to it. So now, child, I am starting with preamble. Okay. You have some idea of the constitution, that what it is having in the process. What I expect from you is see the 12 schedules as provided in the constitution.